So it's been a little while, but if you have been here before, you would be aware that I have been avoiding a certain game.
It's time he met the Batman.
I tried. I really did. But the Telltale Batman game is just. It was so long! So I decided to do another game. This is Detective Grimoire by SFB Games, a murder mystery point and click where you play as, well, Detective Grimoire, as he was brought into an attraction called Boggy's Bog in a swamp in the middle of nowhere. The owner was murdered and the prime suspect, the cryptid this attraction was about, Boggy himself.
How am I supposed to arrest something that might not exist?
You only need a mouse to play this game, as it simply needs clicks through the environment to examine, or to move to the next location if you click the walk button. The game automatically has important details highlighted to assist your investigations, but you can easily turn that off whenever you want. But otherwise, it's not extremely obvious what you should be clicking sometimes, which is great. But also I am staring at that 94% wondering what stick or blade of grass did I miss clicking. If you get turned around while trying to navigate the area, not a problem. You can fast travel using the map, so that makes things super straightforward. And I absolutely realized this feature before the end of the game and not randomly by opening the map and mindlessly clicking one of the areas. In my defense, I was trained at a very young age to navigate through confusing point and click environments because my father didn't want to, so I didn't think anything about it. Quest for Glory 5, I salute you. None of the suspects actually appear until after we investigate the crime scene. We know our victim is Mr. Remington, the owner of this strange backwater attraction. We find his outline outside his office on a pier, so don't worry parents of small junior detectives, there is no corpse. There's actually no depiction of death other than the outline and some evidence. The audio of the murder is rather cartoonish and has no sound of gore or any bodily harm except for a thud of a fall. And the picture of the wound found in the police file, though it's only the wound and not on the body. So I will leave this up to parental discretion for younger junior detectives, but I personally would give this an okay for junior detectives. There's quite a few minigame puzzles throughout the investigation to progress through areas or to find clues in the environment, such as mysterious webbed footprints in the water. They're relatively small puzzles to change up the pacing, but nothing that should make you sweat over it. Questioning suspects is pretty straightforward. You get a few prompts to begin with, gaining more questions to ask the more information you gather from the suspect themselves or from others around the park. Then you can confront the suspect with your findings, poking holes in their stories and really honing in on the truth. This is sometimes accompanied with minigames to spice up a typically visual novel-esque questionnaire. I found its humor charming, so I think experienced junior detectives may find its sarcasm and witty comments entertaining. Nothing that made me guffaw or snort, but it was goofy and entertaining to hear the banter between the characters. So how does Detective Grimoire hold up with the MMO? Means, motive, and opportunity. There were a lot of suspects in this case, and each had a good 1 or 2 clues that would point the finger of suspicion in their direction. But I would say the killer did have the means to commit the crime, their motive was clear, and the opportunity was straightforward. There was nothing I considered a twist, nor did it give me a runaround with the red herrings, so I will give this crime the MMO. It was simple, but sometimes that's for the best. The questioning portion of this game reminded me of the Duck Detective's deduction, where you had to input keywords into a sentence, though with Detective Grimoire you also had to deduce the question that should be asked in the situation as well. Much more in-depth than Duck Detective's deduction, but I didn't find it much more difficult. In some ways I even had a simpler time with it than the Duck Detectives. Once you finish collecting all the clues and question all the suspects, you return to the officer waiting in the boat and give him the rundown and close this case for good. He'll ask questions that you have to select the correct clues to answer. It's straightforward, and I believe as long as you were paying attention and didn't step away from the game too long between plays, you should easily complete it. I would give Detective Grimoire a 2 out of 5 gray cells. The 2D animation cutscenes and the quirky, charming art style of the characters were really enjoyable. I love point-and-click games, and it's a treat to have a game with a unique art style that I'm not very familiar with. I give this game a 4 out of 5 hearts. It was a chill 1.5 to 2 hour gameplay that I believe usually sits below $10 on Steam if you are interested in trying it out for yourself. Once I finished playing, I realized there was another game called Tangle Tower, which I believe continues to follow Detective Grimoire, though I'm not sure if it is a sequel, but it still has the detective tag, so maybe someday I will review it as well and find out. Thank you so much for watching. These parts are always awkward for me, but I am here to beg for likes, shares, and subscribes. Click the bell if you want to be notified for when I finally do Batman, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!